Okay, I want you to picture a scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a feeling this is going to be uncomfortably familiar for you.
I'm ready. I'm already feeling a little called out.
You have that one thing, that big looming thing you know you need to do.
Oh, yeah. The thing.
It could be a quarterly report, something that's going to, define your career this year. Maybe it's the business plan for that startup you've been talking about for, 3 years?
Or maybe it's just getting to the gym. Just that workout you promised yourself you'd do today.
Exactly. So you sit down, you've got the coffee, you have the ergonomic chair, you are ready to absolutely crush it. But then
You don't.
you just don't. You physically don't.
The resistance kicks in. And it's almost like a tangible, like a force field around the task.
It really is. Suddenly this thought pops into your head, I should just clear my inbox first. Get a clean slate.
That sounds productive, right? It feels like work.
Totally. Then you think, oh, I should check my stock portfolio because, hey, financial responsibility is important.
Of course.
And then you notice your desktop icons are a total mess, so you spend a solid 20 minutes organizing folders by color.
And in that moment, organizing that digital desktop seems like the most urgent, most fascinating task in the entire world.
Literally anything. Anything seems like a better idea than the actual work you sat down to do.
And that right there, that's what we can call the procrastination paradox. Because underneath all of that busyness, it's not just laziness.
No.
It's a very specific, buzzing kind of anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
It's this restlessness mixed with a complete inability to just lock in and focus. It feels like your brain is a magnet and the work is the wrong pole. It's just actively pushing you away.
I think everyone listening has felt that magnetic repulsion. And it's so frustrating because, we're rational adults. We know the report matters. We know the business plan could change our lives.
We do?
So why is it so incredibly hard to do the hard things? Why does our brain fight us on the stuff that matters the most?
That is the central mystery we are unraveling today. And I'll tell you right now, the answer isn't that you lack character. It's not about being weak or undisciplined.
That's a relief to hear.
The answer is, it's in your neurochemistry.
So, for this deep dive, we're digging into Dopamine Detox, a short guide to remove distractions and get your brain to do hard things by Thibaut Meurisse. And I have to say, looking at this research stack, I realized this isn't just another productivity guide.
No, it's not.
It's kind of a horror story about what modern life is doing to our heads.
It really is. The mission for today is to look under the hood of the brain's reward system. We really need to understand how it's been, hijacked by what people are calling the attention economy.
Right.
And then we're going to walk through Meurisse's tactical plan to, take the controls back.
And just to give everyone a heads up on the roadmap here, we aren't just going to say, put your phone away. That's too simple.
Way too simple.
We're going to look at the 48-hour challenge, which, I'll be honest, sounds absolutely terrifying. And we're going to talk about friction as a strategic tool for success.
It all comes down to understanding the machinery of your own mind.
Mm.
If you don't know how the machine works, you can't possibly fix it when it breaks down.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We have to start with the star of the show, the molecule itself.
Dopamine.
The celebrity neurotransmitter.
Right. It has a great PR team.
It really does. Let's get into the science of it because I think you're right. Dopamine's reputation is maybe a little inflated. When I hear dopamine, I think pleasure. I eat a donut, I get a dopamine hit, I feel happy. That's the common wisdom, isn't it?
It is the common wisdom, and it is almost entirely wrong. Meurisse spends a good chunk of the book just debunking this right out of the gate.
Okay.
So if you take one thing away from the science today, let it be this. Dopamine is not the molecule of pleasure. It is the molecule of anticipation. It is the molecule of desire.
Wait, hold on. So the feeling isn't the enjoyment of the thing itself, it's the wanting of the thing.
Precisely. The book calls it the molecule of more. Think about it from like an evolutionary perspective.
Okay.
If our ancestors just felt good sitting around in a cave, completely content, they would have starved to death.
Right, they'd never leave.
Nature needed a way to compel them to get off the rock, face the danger, hunt the buffalo, find a mate. Dopamine is that chemical spike that says, go get that. That thing over there might be good. It rewards the pursuit, not the attainment.
Wow. Okay, that actually makes so much sense when you think about the letdown effect. Especially with things like online shopping or food delivery.
Walk me through that. What do you mean?
Okay, so you order a pizza, you're on the app, you're tracking the little car icon.
Oh, yeah. I know this game.
He's 5 minutes away. He's turning onto my street. The excitement is building. The anticipation is just peaking. Then the pizza arrives. You eat 2 slices, and you don't really feel happy. You just feel kind of gross.
We're just flat.
Flat kick, yeah. Or empty.
That's the dopamine crash. The chemical did its job. It got you to buy the pizza and consume the calories. As soon as that biological objective is secured, the dopamine just shuts off.
Oh.
It's designed to keep you seeking, not to keep you satisfied. I mean, if dopamine lasted after you got the reward, you'd never get up to hunt again.
So we are basically running on software designed to make us hunt for berries and buffalo on the savannah, but we're using it to hunt for likes on Instagram and lightning deals on Amazon.
And that mismatch, that is precisely where the entire system breaks down. This is where Meurisse introduces the concept of overstimulation. We are living in an environment that triggers this ancient seeking mechanism thousands of times a day.
And like any substance we abuse, I'm assuming there's a tolerance issue here.
It's exactly like a drug tolerance.
Yeah.
Think of your brain's sensitivity as like a thermostat or a volume dial. If you are constantly blasting it with these high dopamine triggers, scrolling TikTok, checking crypto prices, refreshing your email, watching high-action movies, your brain tries to protect itself from being overwhelmed. It downregulates the receptors.
It just numbs itself to the noise.
Exactly. It raises the baseline required to feel anything at all. So you need more and more stimulation just to feel normal. And this is what he calls the hamster wheel of stimulation. You're just running faster and faster to stay in the same emotional place.
Which brings us right back to that report I can't seem to write.
Because the report is boring.
Chemically boring.
Chemically, yes. Meurisse uses this wavelength analogy that I found really, really helpful for visualizing this.
Okay, let's hear it.
Imagine your brain is currently tuned to a high stimulation wavelength. Let's call it heavy metal FM.
Yeah.
Constant noise, fast pace, super high intensity.
All right, I can picture that. It's loud.
Now, the deep work you need to do, the writing, the coding, the strategic thinking, that business plan, it all exists on a low stimulation wavelength. Let's call it classical AM radio. It's slow, requires patience, it's subtle.
And if my brain's radio is blasting heavy metal, I literally can't even hear the classical station.
There is zero overlap. If your brain is revving at 100 miles per hour, seeking dopamine hits, a spreadsheet looks like a brick wall. It's not just hard, it is chemically invisible to you. It offers absolutely no reward compared to the baseline you've established for yourself.
So when we try to force ourselves to focus without calming down first, we're basically trying to listen to a whisper while standing next to a jet engine.
That is a perfect visualization. And the tragedy is, we blame our willpower. We think, ugh, I'm just lazy, I'm broken.
Right.
No, you were overstimulated. You physically cannot bridge that gap until you lower the volume on the jet engine first.
And the thing is, the volume is being cranked up on purpose. This isn't an accident. The world isn't just naturally this loud. There are people with their hands on the volume knob.
Not at all accidental. We're living in what they call the attention economy. Your focus is the product. Marketers, app developers, media giants, they are all in a death match for that one finite resource, your attention. And Meurisse points out they have become absolute masters at hacking that dopamine loop we just described. They know our biology better than we do.
The notes mention a few specific hacks that these platforms use. I really want to call them out because once you see them, you can't unsee them.
They're everywhere.
They are everywhere. The most obvious one is the red dot.
The notification badge. It's so simple as Pavlovian, and it is devastatingly effective.
It really is.
That red dot isn't just a random color choice. It's a promise of social validation. It whispers, who thought about me? Who liked my photo? Is it good news? Your brain releases a little squirt of dopamine just seeing the icon.
You haven't even opened the app yet, and you're already hooked.
You're already on the hook. It's that anticipation again. That maybe.
That maybe is the key.
It's what's known as variable rewards. It's the exact same psychological mechanism that makes slot machines the most addictive form of gambling on the planet. Well, if you pulled the lever on a slot machine and won every single time, you'd actually get bored eventually.
Yeah.
If you never won, you'd just quit. But if you win sometimes, you'll pull that lever until you starve.
And refreshing your email is the slot machine. Maybe it's the boring newsletter. Maybe it's spam.
Or maybe it's a huge new client. Pull the lever. See what happens.
Wow.
Exactly. The unpredictability makes the addiction 10 times stronger. And then you have the never-ending loops. Meurisse calls out YouTube and Amazon specifically here.
Oh, the autoplay feature.
Autoplay.
Yeah.
It removes the stopping cue. Think about it. In the pre-digital era, you finished a newspaper article and it just ended.
Right. The article was over.
You physically turned the page or put the paper down. You finished a TV episode and the credits rolled. There was a natural pause where you could ask yourself, do I want to do something else now?
And now the next video starts in 3, 2, 2. 1. And it's been algorithmically chosen to be the exact thing you're most likely to want to see.
It removes the decision-making process entirely. And this creates what the author calls an open system. And this distinction between open and closed systems is, I think, critical for anyone who wants to reclaim their time.
Okay, let's drill down on that. What makes a system open?
An open system has no defined endpoint and infinite external stimuli. The internet is the ultimate open system. Social media feeds are open systems. You can scroll forever and you will never, ever reach the bottom.
There's always one more post, one more video.
Always one more comment.
Versus a closed system.
A closed system has boundaries. A physical book is a closed system. It has a last page. An Excel spreadsheet is a closed system. A Word document, if you turn off the Wi-Fi, is a closed system.
Ah, that's a key distinction.
A huge one. The environment has finite tasks, and crucially, no new external inputs are coming in to hijack you.
And the real danger is mixing them up, isn't it? Or I guess it's doing them in the wrong order.
It's all about the sequencing. Meurisse argues that if you enter an open system first thing in the morning, you roll over in bed and check Instagram or Twitter, you have lost the day before it even started.
Because you've set that thermostat to high right away.
You've revved the engine to maximum RPM. You have flooded your brain with high-intensity dopamine hits. Trying to downshift from the infinite excitement of a Twitter feed to a blank white Word document is physically painful. Your brain screams for that high stimulation again.
So you have to stay in closed systems for as long as you can.
As long as possible in the morning, yeah. Protect that focus.
It's like eating a bag of Skittles for breakfast and then wondering why boiled broccoli looks unappealing for lunch.
It does, yeah.
You've just ruined your palate.
That is a very, very relevant comparison because the source material doesn't just blame tech. It talks about biological hijackers too, specifically sugar.
I was interested in this because usually, productivity books just stick to apps and calendars. But he really goes into diet. What's the connection there?
He references a Professor Suzanne Klaus. And her work shows that the combination of sugar and fat stimulates the brain's reward system in a way that nature never intended.
How do you mean?
Well, think about it. In nature, finding high sugar and high fat in the same food is incredibly rare. Maybe a really ripe fruit with a nut. But a donut...
That's not natural.
That's a chemical bomb. It's engineered.
Right.
Now, we have to be nuanced here. The text acknowledges there's a debate. Experts like Dr. Ziauddin and Tom Sanders, they argue that sugar isn't addictive in the clinical sense, like heroin is.
Right. You don't rob a bank to buy a Snickers bar?
Ideally not, no. But the argument Meurisse makes is about the function. Functionally, a high-sugar diet creates a dependency. It creates cravings. And most importantly, it causes massive energy crashes.
The sugar roller coaster.
Exactly. If you are riding a glucose roller coaster, high energy, then massive crash, your ability to maintain your executive function and focus on deep work just evaporates. It's just another form of overstimulation that keeps you out of the zone.
So we are fighting a war on two fronts here. We've got the technology in our pockets, and we've got the food in our pantries. And then, to make matters even worse, it seems we have a traitor on the inside.
The mind games.
This section really resonated with me, because even when we know all this science, we still justify the bad behavior. Meurisse identifies these 4 tricks of the mind. These are the lies we tell ourselves to keep the dopamine flowing.
And let's run through them because just recognizing the lie is the first step to stopping it.
Okay, trick number 1, returning to work is easy.
Ah, the lie of control. This is when you're in the middle of some deep work and you think, I'll just check this one notification just for a second, and then I'll snap right back into focus.
I do this constantly. I'll just check the score of the game really quick.
And then 20 minutes later, you're reading the Wikipedia page for a player you don't even like from 10 years ago. The reality is, once you spike that dopamine, you completely disrupt your flow state. Some studies say it takes up to 23 minutes to fully refocus after a single distraction. You think you're multitasking, you're actually just micro-destroying your attention span.
Okay, trick number 2. You can do it later.
The great procrastination justification. We have this delusional belief that our future self is going to be this disciplined, energetic superhero.
Oh, yeah. My future self is essentially a Navy SEAL.
Right. I'm tired now, but future me will absolutely love writing this report at 10 p.m. on a Sunday night.
My present self creates the mess, and future self will clean it up. He's great.
But future self is just you, and probably more tired and more stressed than you are right now because you've delayed the work. It's just a way to offload the discomfort of the present moment.
All right, trick number 3 gets a little deeper. It's about confusing emotions. excitement is fulfillment.
This is a huge one. We often mistake the high of a video game or a viral tweet or some dramatic news story for actual life satisfaction. Your brain says, this is exciting. My heart is racing, so this must be important.
But it's empty calories, emotionally speaking.
Completely. Meurisse asks us to look at the aftermath. How do you feel after 3 hours of excitement scrolling on social media? Do you feel full?
No, you feel drained.
Anxious?
Exactly. Fulfillment, by contrast, is often quiet. It comes from peace and focus and progress. It doesn't scream at you.
And finally, trick number 4, the big one. You're missing out. The FOMO factor.
The scarcity mindset. The idea that if you don't check the news right now or see that post this second, you will miss an opportunity that will never come back.
Right.
And the author takes a pretty hard stance here. He just says flat out, I seldom read the news.
Which is a bold thing to say these days. I mean, to some people, that sounds almost irresponsible. It does. But his argument is that true opportunities, the chance to build skills, to connect with your family, to create real value, they're everywhere, all the time. If you miss a 24-hour news cycle, you essentially miss nothing of long-term consequence. But if you miss your own life because you were busy watching everyone else's, that is the real loss.
That is a powerful reframe. Okay, let's pivot. We've diagnosed the illness, we're overstimulated, we're hijacked, and we're lying to ourselves. So how do we fix it? The book is called Dopamine Detox, but Meurisse clarifies that's a bit of a marketing term, right?
Right. Yeah, you can't actually detox from dopamine. You need it to, regulate muscle movement, motivation, your heart rate. If you had zero dopamine, you'd basically be catatonic.
Okay, so better term is
stimulation reduction.
Yeah.
We just need to lower the input so our receptors can recover. We need to resensitize the brain again.
The book outlines 3 levels of difficulty for this detox. Let's start with the nuclear option, the 48-hour complete detox.
This is the hard reset. It's designed to really shock the system, and the rules are very strict.
Okay.
For 48 hours, no internet, no phone, no movies, no music except for maybe like gentle relaxation tracks, no video games, no sugar. And this is the one that surprises people. No high-intensity exercise.
That one caught me off guard. Usually, healthy advice always includes exercise. Why cut it out?
Because a really intense HIIT workout releases a massive flood of dopamine and endorphins. It's a high.
Oh.
The goal of these 48 hours isn't just to be healthy. It is to be bored. You want to let the sediment settle in the glass. You want to force your brain to confront the complete lack of stimulation.
So what can you do? Just stare at the wall for 2 days?
Almost. You can go for slow contemplative walks. You can journal with a pen and paper. You can meditate. You can do some light stretching. You can just sit with your own thoughts.
That sounds terrifying to a lot of people, being alone with their thoughts.
It does. There's a quote from Blaise Pascal. He once said, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. We are terrified of it."
Yeah.
But Meurisse offers a comparison to make it seem more manageable. He talks about his friend Nils, who went on a 10-day Vipassana retreat.
Oh, those are the totally silent retreats, right?
Total silence. No eye contact with anyone.
Yeah.
No reading. No writing. For 10 days.
Wow.
Nils described it as agonizing, but ultimately transformative. And compared to that, 48 hours where you can still talk to your family or write in a journal is, well, it's a walk in the park.
Okay, so if 48 hours is too much, there's a 24-hour version. But for those of us with jobs that, require email or families that need coordination, there's the partial detox.
This is probably the most sustainable approach for most people. You identify your biggest offender, your personal kryptonite.
Right.
Maybe it's YouTube, maybe it's day trading apps, maybe it's political Twitter, and you just eliminate that one source, either permanently or for strict blocks of time.
Okay, let's get tactical. We've picked our detox level. The book gives us a 3-step method to actually execute this without caving in. Step 1 is identify distractions.
This is the cans and can'ts list.
Yeah.
And Meurisse really emphasizes writing this down physically.
With a pen.
With a pen, yeah.
Yeah.
Do not do this in your head. What are the specific can'ts, the high dopamine triggers? And then, crucially, what are the cans, the low stimulation activities you'll replace them with?
Why is that cans list so important?
Because nature abhors a vacuum. When that craving hits, your brain will panic. It will look for the path of least resistance. If you haven't decided beforehand that when I'm bored, I will read this specific paper book, you will default to grabbing your phone. You need a preloaded alternative.
Step 2 is my favorite part of the book, add friction.
This is all about weaponizing our own laziness. Humans are fundamentally energy-conserving machines. We want the easiest possible reward. If checking Instagram takes 0 effort, we do it. If it takes effort, we skip it.
The author's personal example of this is just hilarious. He talks about his internet modem.
It's extreme, but it proves the point perfectly. He realized he couldn't stop clicking, so he unplugged his modem and put it in a storage locker.
Not in the closet.
No, not the closet. This locker was 4 floors down. To get internet, he had to put on shoes, leave his apartment, take an elevator, and open 6 different doors.
That is serious commitment.
But it worked. He'd sit at his desk, have the urge to check email, and then he'd think about the shoes and the elevator and the 6 doors, and his brain would just go, you know what? Never mind, it's too much work.
Oh.
I'll just write the chapter. He made the distraction too expensive in terms of energy.
Most of us don't have storage lockers 4 floors down, but we can do this digitally too.
Oh, absolutely. He lists specific tools like Newsfeed Eradicator for Facebook. It just replaces the infinite scroll with a motivational quote.
Ah, that's clever.
Yeah. You can still use Messenger, but the feed is gone. Or DFTube, which strips the sidebar recommendations from YouTube.
Yeah.
You watch the one video you came for, and the loop is broken. You add friction to all the bad habits.
And step 3 takes us right back to the morning. Start first thing.
This is the critical window. If you win the morning, you win the day. The rule is simple. No phone and no internet immediately upon waking. You have to protect that low stimulation state.
I feel like everyone says this, but almost nobody actually does it.
Because it's hard. You're fighting a real addiction. But the strategy is to replace the scroll with a pre-planned calming routine. Stretching, gratitude, writing down your goals for the day. You just want to keep your stimulation levels low so you can ease into that closed system work we talked about earlier.
So, okay. We've detoxed, we added friction, we've protected our morning. Now we actually have to do the work. The source material kind of shifts here from defense to offense. How do we build that consistency?
The goal Meurisse sets isn't crazy. He doesn't say work for 12 hours straight. He says aim for 45 minutes of laser-sharp, uninterrupted focus.
45 minutes? That sounds surprisingly doable.
It sounds doable, but it's surprisingly hard if you're actually honest about the uninterrupted part.
That's true.
But 45 minutes of true deep work is worth more than 8 hours of distracted, tab-switching semi-work. And to get there, he suggests establishing a trigger.
Like a starting gun for your brain.
Exactly. Like a ritual. Your brain is a pattern-matching machine. You need a signal that says, playtime is over, work mode is on.
Okay, like what?
Maybe it's making a specific cup of Earl Grey tea. Maybe it's sitting in a specific work chair that you never ever sit in for leisure. Maybe it's a specific instrumental playlist. If you do the same thing every single time before you work, eventually, the moment you put those headphones on, your focus just sharpens automatically.
It's classical conditioning for focus.
It is. You are literally conditioning yourself to focus.
So once we're in that mode, how do we choose what to work on? Because I can be very focused on the wrong thing. I can be laser focused on designing a new logo when I should be selling the product.
That's fake productivity. Meurisse offers a brutal prioritization question for this. You have to ask yourself, if I could complete only one task today before taking a month off, what would that task be?
Whoa. Before taking a month off. That really raises the stakes.
It forces you to ignore all the urgent little fires and look at the important structural work. It forces long-term thinking. And this really is the core philosophy of the book. The entire battle is short-term feedback versus long-term value.
And he uses Jeff Bezos and Amazon as the case study here, right?
It's the ultimate example. Amazon was founded in 1994. Do you know when it finally turned a meaningful, sustainable profit?
I don't.
2003. That is nearly a decade of building and investing and grinding without the reward of immediate profit.
Can you even imagine if Jeff Bezos had the attention span of a modern TikTok user? Oh, we didn't make $1 billion this week. Boring. Let's start a new company.
Exactly. Amazon wouldn't exist. Building anything of value, a career, a relationship, a skill, a healthy body, it all requires delayed gratification. The dopamine hit comes years later. Social media trains us to demand the hit right now. If you want to succeed, you have to rewire your brain to tolerate the waiting. You have to learn to love the plateau.
But let's be real. We're human. We are going to mess up, we're going to have a bad day, get stressed, and binge watch an entire season of a show or scroll until our eyes bleed. What does the book say about relapse?
Relapse is inevitable. The world is designed to distract you. You will eventually slip. And Meurisse is very clear about this. Do not beat yourself up. Shame is a stressor.
And what happens when we're stressed?
We seek comfort. And what is comfort to a dopamine addict? more dopamine.
So shaming yourself for scrolling just drives you right back to scrolling.
Exactly. It becomes a downward spiral.
So what's the move then?
Contingency planning. You need to visualize the failure before it happens. Ask yourself, what is the worst case scenario? Maybe it's grabbing your phone first thing in the morning. Okay, then script your reaction.
What do you mean script your reaction?
You decide ahead of time. If I grab my phone, I will immediately put it down, stand up, and do 10 jumping jacks.
Break the physical state.
Yes. Have a plan so you don't spiral. A single slip-up doesn't have to become a total crash.
I like that. It's very practical. And there's one last concept from the sources that I found really interesting. It's about shifting our chemical fuel source entirely.
Yes. Moving from dopamine to what he calls the here and now neurotransmitters.
Right. We've established dopamine is all about the future. I want that. I need that. What are the others?
Serotonin and oxytocin. These are the chemicals of the present, of satisfaction, connection, peace.
And how do we cultivate those?
Through mindfulness, through deep social interaction like real face-to-face talking, not just texting, and coming full circle, boredom.
We're back to boredom again.
We are, just sitting and doing nothing. When you stop chasing the future, you finally settle into the present. And that is where fulfillment lives. It allows the stimulation levels to drop naturally. It's not just about doing less of the bad stuff. It's about learning to enjoy the quiet.
So when we wrap this all up, what does this all mean for us?
I think it means we have to understand the fundamental difference between excitement and fulfillment. Excitement is flashy, it's fast, it's that red dot on your phone, but it's temporary. And it always leaves you feeling empty. Fulfillment is slow. It's boring sometimes, but it's what actually builds a life.
And it's a constant battle, isn't it?
It is a battle for your mind. Meurisse puts it very bluntly. The world is trying to hijack your brain to empty your wallet. That isn't a conspiracy theory. It's just the business model of the internet.
So protecting your focus isn't just a productivity hack?
No, it is an act of defiance. It is self-preservation.
Focus as an act of defiance. That is a really powerful thought to end on.
It really is. I mean, it's the only way to build the life that actually belongs to you.
So here is our challenge to you, the listener. You don't have to lock your modem in a basement 4 floors down unless you really want to.
Well, you can if you want.
You can, but try the open system audit. Just identify the one app or website that ruins your morning, and for just 24 hours, cut it out completely. See what happens to your brain when the noise stops.
You might be really surprised at how much bandwidth you actually have when you aren't constantly buffering.
Exactly. You can choose to control your focus, or you can let someone else take it. Which will it be? Thanks for diving in with us.
Until next time.